sure is.
Hold on, everybody. I'm
What the
sorry. I messed up, guys. Hold on.
man? We'll
It's
be
gonna
right back.
glitch for 2 seconds. I
Something like
think we're
that.
good. We're good. We're good.
What up?
What's going on? What's
What's
going
the
on?
word? World.
Hey, Willie, sir, and
Wooly Wooly.
everybody in the bushes.
What is the deal for real? Happy motherfucking Monday. Hope y'all had a good weekend.
Oh, happy birthday, honey.
Happy birthday to who?
You.
It ain't my birthday yet.
Every day this week is gonna be Billy's birthday.
It ain't my
Hey,
birthday yet.
Joseph Harris, Coy,
Silverback, what up?
STD, CDL,
Biggs,
A
Mr.
Money.
John. Hey, y'all see y'all boy in there talking about he light skin?
Who's like
RGG.
who?
Lito.
I know. Say he was who?
Oh man, he thought he was light skinned for a minute. For a minute. I told him that he just needed,
Put on lotion.
that's all. Get that ash off, yes.
He is nobody's.
E Money, what's popping? Virginia Bush Crafter, what the word? That is not fucking water, man. That is not. Oh my God.
Why? Why you all in my
Yo, it's
business?
Monday night. Varsity, what's going on?
I had a long
Fat
day.
guy with guns, what
Hey,
the word be?
Jason.
Man, what up, twin?
Why are you yelling at me already?
I'm not even being loud.
We've
You
been
just.
on here for 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Man,
Jesus.
she tricked. I said, did you get your water? Cause
I said yes. It's right here.
yeah, that's Russian water right there.
No,
That's
this is water.
that's Caribbean water.
This is water
Why she got this then?
to wash it down.
That shit don't even fuck what that stink. Shout out to New York City. Shout out to Rodney Brady. I think is that right?
Yep. Hey, Mr. Bullshitter.
That Caribbean rum.
That Haitian rum.
That's mm. Yeah,
Hey,
you're right.
the pimp.
Pimp. What's the word, man? I hope y'all had a good ass weekend.
We did.
I hope it was a smooth, nice weather. It was cool for us. It was damn
very
sure
nice.
cool.
Today
Armel,
was
what up?
really
What up?
nice today.
Yeah,
It was 82.
All right, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. Just watch the people start leaving. When you start talking
Okay.
about how nice your weather is,
That's true.
man,
That's true.
it ain't nice. She ain't mean nothing by it.
Haters.
She been drinking. She been drinking watermelon. But yo, we had a good weekend. We had a good weekend. It was good. It was nice. First, all right. So Alex had his last track meet. Shout out to him for that. And then we went.
Wait, let's talk about that real quick.
Okay. Too
Hey,
Rich, what
Drew
up?
Hill and Too Rich.
Drew Hill, that's my
Drew-
brother right there.
No, we actually got to wait for Gina and 2A to come in before we
What?
talk about it.
Oh, how they robbed Alex? They robbed Alex of his
So,
times, but
yeah,
it happens. That's life, man. Life ain't always.
they did.
Yeah. Your internet is off on your phone?
Yeah. Guys, are we glitching?
I'm just making sure.
They will let us know.
I'm just making sure. What's up, Jinkta? Girl. So
Thank
look,
you
man.
again, Gina.
We had a cool weekend. Like I said, we matter of fact, let's start off with Friday night. Did we do something on Friday night?
Zach, I was not mean. We didn't do. No, we didn't do anything this Friday.
Yeah, you right, old mean ass Erica.
I was not mean.
Anybody who saw her go live for her little live on Saturday morning, she was yelling at children. She was yelling at children.
Ooh.
Rodney, what up, brother?
Oh. Salute.
Yeah.
Oh. Stuck in my
Either way.
Right here.
So we get up, do the track meet, then we hit the range that afternoon. Got some couple things to move around on the YouTube streets.
Oh, we went to the Hobby Lobby, not Hobby Lobby.
To the hobby. So we went down to Tallahassee real quick, hit the hobby store, and
hey Urban.
You know, I've been trying to get back into my cars, you know. So I was in there looking for a battery, trying to revive one of my batteries. Hey Urban, listen, I heard you dangerous in these YouTube streets, man. I don't want no problems with you, girl. I don't want no problems. You don't want no blood clot
Don't
problem
do that.
Inferno.
Don't
Hey,
do that to my friend.
Oh, yeah, do.
I was a little upset somebody tried to go after my friend.
Either way. So it was a smooth weekend. And then Sunday, we
Hey,
got
Walt E. Hey, Carbon.
Carbon Q is in here. Walt E.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. So either way, we got to go and cook outdoors. I don't know if y'all are still barbecuing, but we had the opportunity to throw some things on the grill yesterday and finish fucking up my grass, my lawn, so she could put the rest of her Halloween shit on my grass.
I'm not even done. I'm gonna
Hey,
add more.
Before you know it, I'm gonna be cutting my lawn with one scissor. All right, done. She done took my back area for her garden. She done took my front area with her stuff. Y'all know how it goes. Joseph, I need some help. Please. Talk some sense into her.
To who?
To her.
To me?
But it was a smooth weekend, man. Matter of fact, yo.
And you took me to dinner.
Oh, yeah. I took her to a late birthday dinner.
And then we went to see the concert in Thomasville.
It was busy. Shit.
Yeah. We did that all in a day. And then you got on Fat Guy with Guns Live.
Oh, yeah. Fat Guy with Guns had a live, y'all. If you have the opportunity, go back and watch it. If you have, I don't know what to call it. I don't want to call it patience or nothing. It was, if you could listen from two different ears and shit at one time, let me know. Because go check it out, Fat Guy with Guns channel, and it was.
I'm sorry, Drew Hill.
Oh, man. I hope they ain't steal the hat. They stole a whole gun?
Oh, that sucks.
Damn. I've yet to have a gun stolen.
Is that?
I don't even know what to do, how to go through with that. Man,
you gotta report it.
Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, that's a shitty weekend.
Oh, that is.
That's tough, Drew Hill. Do me a favor, y'all. Only because when I look at myself, I see it's like a delay. Let me know if this is coming in clear and non-glitchy.
It's your eye.
Is it my eyes?
Yeah.
Throw me a thumbs up. Let me know we clear. Hey, as a matter of fact, Joseph Harris, if you knew what he would say aside from super dope, he would, in a private conversation, he would say dopey wopey.
What?
Yeah. I block him out every time he says it.
It's your eyes. We're clear.
We are clear. Good deal. So yo, we had a good time at the range. All right. So a few things happened at the range. Maybe 3 weeks ago, I had put a red dot on the platypus for Alex and never got back to the range to shoot it. And he loves it. It's dope on it. It worked out good. And then shout out to Holosun for that. Shout out to Viridian because I got my first enclosed optic, the larger enclosed optics, and we ran that one. That worked out pretty well, pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
And then Erica finally got her opportunity to shoot the Triclops sight. If anybody's familiar or seen a recent video on my channel or some other channel about the Triclops sight, which is a sight that helps you see with both eyes open and helps you train that way. Something I realized I needed and something I realized I got better at when we hit the range. And then Erica gave it a shot. And
it was amazing.
You liked it?
I did. And you guys know I don't like red dots, but this helped me actually line up the iron sights exactly the way it's supposed to be. And it also made both eyes open, really focused on it. So I didn't have to fish for the front dot to line with the two back ones and at the target. I was able to do it just at one point. So that was pretty cool. I do want another one.
Yeah. See what we can work on. But yeah, dope. So that was dope. Just to verify that I was seeing right or whatever. I was like, baby, give it a shot. She liked it. Yo, that's a true statement, Dire Prep. I went into first Cabela's or Bass Pro. No 9mm. They had a few defensive boxes, no range ammo, just wasn't there. And then we decided to go across the street to Academy
Yeah.
to find out that they had scattered 9mm, but nothing for a good price. I think I ended up paying around $15 per box of 50, and that was no fun. Hey John, I think it's like 102 or something like that. But if you use My Fly Family 15, you get a 15% off. So um no, yo, Mr. Bullshitter, I, I didn't even have to deal with it. Like she saw
No.
what she should see right away. It was no finding the dot and all that. I didn't get yelled at this time. Thank you. Thank you.
Why
Because
is
he's
you
thinking
making
about
this?
me. Because no, this ain't me. He's thinking about me. Shout out to Mr. Bullshitter for having my best interests in
I
his
can't do
his
it today.
thoughts.
I messed around.
See Smooth Hempstead in the building. What up there, brother?
I cleaned up the desk.
So listen, man. Today, Crazy Mechanic. What up? What up? So a heavy topic today. It's a really difficult one. Pardon the dogs in the back. Maybe Amazon is dropping off another package for this lady or something.
Don't do me
So-
like this.
So listen. Either way, police interactions. Right now, we all, I'm sure, have been through something somehow, some way over the years, as a young person or as an adult, as a driver, or as somebody being at a place or a time where there's going to be officers around. And what I want to start out by doing is talking about my first experience. And 1990, a young 10-year-old My Fly Family, and Babylon Village, New York, Long Island. 3 kids, generally the same age, my brother and his friend, his best friend, and myself playing basketball in a fairly mixed neighborhood, nothing too prissy about it. Playing a game of basketball, and police cruiser pulls up within less than a minute, weapons drawn. We're on the floor or on the cement of the basketball court, and maybe that lasted for about 2 minutes. And then we got up. They left. Mistaken identity. They were looking for 2 Spanish males and 1 Spanish female. And I don't know what happened. A store was robbed or something like that, or a home or something. My mom lost her shit after hearing about this. And so now in the 90s, there's not much space in the household for conversations about how to interact with police. Dennis Dixon, what up, brother? Philly Slow, what's popping?
Shanna.
Skilly, Shannon. Jay, what up, Jay, the budget gun buyer? So there's, in the 90s, in my time growing up, there's not a lot of space in conversation or need in conversation to talk to your teenage or preteen child about how to safely interact with police officers. And I'm not sure when it happened, but things are well different now. And what this topic, the reasoning for it is because Alex is, he looks mid-teens or so, and he's coming up. He's a preteen, and he does a lot more stuff without us now.
Mhm.
He goes to the park, literally a quarter mile up the street on our block. He goes to the park. He walks to school. He walks home from school. He goes to a small restaurant in town to hang out with his friends and buy ice cream and shit like that.
Mhm.
I am super paranoid about this, about his ability to interact with people that that are of authority. Now he has decency and respect, all good, but would he be able to hold his composure the way that I did as a child, as a 10-year-old kid, with a weapon drawn at you? Would he be able to watch what he says or watch his movements or not run? a lot of times children that age, the first thing the thought is to flee, is to leave that situation. They don't often look like, as a police officer, I better not run from them. They run. They don't have that conversation to say, hey, son, listen, let me talk to you about this, that. That's that. Now, Erica has had many talks, and we conversate about his interactions, and he's had interactions with police officers on a
Yes.
positive note all throughout his growing up. He's a noticeable kid. So, and in our town, you do a lot of walking around. There's not a lot of bus systems for public schools. So the crossing guards are usually police officers, and they all know who he is. But that kids grow up, and jobs change, and some of the police officers might be new. Who the hell knows? But now I'm in this point where I'm kind of afraid. Now, on a different note, Howard J, what up? On a different note, there are a lot of interactions that we need to learn how um, to correctly or positively or safely be a part of. As firearm owners, we are now putting the situation into a 50-50 slide immediately, because they have an opportunity to harm us, and we have the same opportunity to harm them.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at my interactions as an adult with police officers, most time it's great, cool, calm, relaxed, is everything that I can do right. But I watched a lot of videos that give you the best thoughts on what to do, and I haven't followed those. I've bullshitted with police officers. I told jokes, all different types of things that maybe I shouldn't have. That could have offended somebody. That my movements might have. Sometimes you want to have all of your items on your lap or near, hands on the steering wheel the entire time. There's been times where it hasn't been that. My window on my car gives me problems every now and again. Y'all know how it is. If I get pulled over in my car, or Erica, I got to open the door. Like, the window thing don't work no more. So there's so many different things that I wish, or I'm glad nothing happened, but I wish I would have known or talked to somebody, had somebody tell me, hey, listen, this is how you do that. This is how you get out of these situations unscathed or unharmed or whatever, safely. So I've recently watched a video now with a young man who spent 16 years. His name is Leonard. Shit, y'all gonna hate me for this one. Cure, Cure. Leonard Cure did 16 years in the penitentiary for a crime that he didn't commit, and he was exonerated, and spent 3 years outside in normal civilian life. He got pulled over for a traffic infraction for speeding, and the police officer, which had multiple recent accounts of complaints, he got fired at one time for using excessive force. He just does not deal with traffic stops or interaction with public on a good note, on a safe note. So here comes a man who's been in prison for 16 years that doesn't want to fucking go back no matter what, especially over a traffic ticket. And this officer, who felt like this man was being dangerous enough for me to tase him and then shoot him dead with a firearm. The man survived 16 years in a fucking jail, in a jail cell, as rough and as dirty as that can be, and dies because of a fucking speeding ticket. That's wild to me. That's wild to me. So sometimes, no matter what your interaction is, some police officers already have that fucking demeanor that this is going to end how they want it to end. Now I can't say every officer has that same premise when they interact with people, but sometimes they're having a fucked up day, a bad day. I'm going to. I'm glad she's not here when I do this because y'all know how she does with me. She yells at me. Copy, boom, paste, bang, send. Open the live up to anybody who's had these same ideas, worries, that has children that are now old enough to start moving around themselves, possibly just started driving, that might be, in the area to be pulled over by a fucking police officer, or somebody who's had a rough go of their own, that has had a situation to that they weren't sure they were going to get out of, you know. So hold on, we got young Skillionaire tapping on the back door. What up, brother?
What's going on?
Everything's smooth. How you feel?
Man, I'm good. I can't complain, brother.
Hey, man, big happy birthday coming up to you.
Man, thank you, brother. I'll be big 4-0 next chapter.
Ooh, boy, when I was 40. Them days, big pressure. What's going on?
I'm glad you're having this talk, man. Years ago, I think I put it out here that I was going for the Detroit Police Department. And one thing about being a police officer, I understood that 80% of your job is communication with the public. If you don't have good communication skills, don't become a cop. And you gotta love people. Those are the two main things in being a cop. That's why I wanted to be a cop. I love people, and I knew that 80% of my job would be communication.
So let me ask you this, and this is just a thought or a truth. There's a lot of police officers who it's just a paycheck. There's a lot of teachers, it's just a paycheck. There's a lot of politicians, it's just a paycheck. My job is just a fucking paycheck, bro. And I'm from a county in New York that is the highest paid police force in America, Suffolk County Police. So these people in that area, they strive to become a police officer. They don't want to go to college to learn shit. They want to get that dope ass paying $100,000 a year job to be a fucking rookie ass police officer. So that shit does exist. Shout out to you for having that deeper thought on why you wanted to become a police officer, to, I guess, to protect and to serve.
Absolutely.
So now, with your job, I don't know, Skilly, because you be bullshitting on your job. Boy, I don't know if I can call Skilly when something go down and say, hey. Yeah. Ego neighbor, what's going on, young fella? It's good to see you. Good to see you. What's popping? All right. So now, one of my favorite people in the world, man, has just rang the doorbell, and he is a very, very accomplished young man in law enforcement, and has been in law enforcement since we was in diapers. And listen, one of the few people that I trust with my own son, and he just happens to be a police officer. Ladies and gentlemen, SD Marine, what's going on, young fella?
Hey, good evening, Skilly. Miss Erica, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Act like an adult while he's up here. I don't want no shit.
Okay.
So, Patrick Irie, what's going on, young fella? It's good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so Rip Curl, what's going on? So, let me ask you this. During a routine police stop, matter of fact, you know what? If I can, SD Marine, go ahead, tell the people that might not be familiar who you are and your credentials behind you in law enforcement.
I've got 25 years in law enforcement. Worked for the South Carolina Highway Patrol. Since retired, so I worked 10 years on the road and 15 years in training. So as the Patrick Irie, I'm just following the chat. Hey, good evening. 15 years in training, dealing with brand new recruits on the side of the Highway Patrol and or police officers coming in or candidates coming in through the academy, going to different municipalities. So I have some experience I've been on the opposite side on the other end of a traffic stop as the violator.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Now, getting into that line of work, what I was just expressing really is some people have it in their heart, in their passion, and then some people just need a job, getting out of school or college or something like that. What do you come from a family of police officers, or was it just something that you fell into?
So I have an uncle that worked for Detroit City Police Department.
Mm-hmm.
I have a cousin two cousins that retired from DPD. Yeah, so I mean that's those family members that I have that I know of on that side that served as police officers in the city of Detroit. And you know I kind of asked a couple of them, you know, the why, and it was pretty much like Skilly said, you know, you care about what's going on in your community. You want to be an advocate in your community, especially in Detroit during that time. I know Skilly is in Oak Park.
Yeah, I'm in Oak Park.
Yeah. So growing up in Detroit during the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, right? It was important when we had police officers that came to our school and visit. They were us, black police officers, right? Was that something that I looked at and said, you know what, that's what I want to be when I grow up? Certainly not. Because I probably had a couple of interactions as growing up as a youth that painted police officers in a negative light.
Yeah.
But it was because of some of the knucklehead stuff that I did. That makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. What drew me into law enforcement is just what you said, right? I'm a veteran coming out of the Marine Corps. Really wasn't looking. I wasn't looking for anything like factory work or anything like that, right? 8 years in the Marine Corps. I've been here, there, everywhere. Never been confined to an office. So, like law enforcement was like the last thing I wanted to do in life.
Yeah.
Right. Kicked around with that and had a pretty good career. And met a lot of good people, be it in law enforcement and or the people that I dealt with, violators, right? And I didn't look at anybody as I didn't treat them any type of way. Like if they broke the law, they broke the law. If I took somebody to jail, I took them to jail. It was consequences, right? I mean, they got treated with dignity and respect all the time.
True that. So Gina asked a question. Have you ever had to kind of intercede or interject with another officer that might have been being a little out of sorts with a civilian?
Oh, constantly.
Really?
You deal with law enforcement officers and it becomes this power struggle, so to speak, as I call it. Right? You're going to listen to me. No. You're going to listen to me. This, that, and the other, whatever the case may be. Right? So somebody has to step in and say, "Hey, hold on for a minute. Hey, man, step aside for a minute. Let me go ahead. It's your stop. But let's just go. What do you need? You know what I mean? Where are we going with this? First and foremost, and then try to get both parties to relax a little bit, and then and then continue on what you got to continue on with."
Now, do you feel that there's more officers that are willing to do that, to be the voice of reason? Sometimes I'll see situations where the officer, if the stop officer is on 100, the other officers back him up at 100.
Commonplace. And here's the thing, right? And I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying a lot of times, in my experience, right, the ones that end up or are on like from 0 to 60 right then and there, usually rookies from 0 to 5 years on.
Yeah.
They haven't gained that experience yet on how to deal with people.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, your academies are nothing more than cookie cutting people.
Yeah.
Wash them in, wash them out, or bring them in and take them out, right? And that environment that they train in is a sterile environment.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm putting them in a scenario where, I'm raising hell and it's like, hey, sir, well, I'm getting ready to arrest you. And I'm like, you know what, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. They know that Instructor Jordan is nothing that I can do to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they know me, right? And they know it's a scenario.
Yeah.
So now I'm making them think, hey, man, like, I really need you to critically think this thing through. Don't let my actions and my words take you to that point. You still need to critically think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So I saw a recent video of a very distraught young man who was having a fallout with his girlfriend or his wife and took her firearm, and the police responded calmly, super calm, relaxed, spoke to the guy with decency and all. He had the firearm. It took a minute before they knew that, and things got a little mixed up, and they still kept it decently calm. And he got out of the vehicle and then kind of fled, but did not leave the scene. He got probably a good 50 yards away from them, showing the gun, showing the firearm, and they still talked to him. And this went on for about 15 minutes. And they spoke to him calmly. Now, these are all, for the most part, the responding officers are all black officers, and a couple of young ladies and a couple of young men. The point, I mean, it was bright in day to the point where it got dark out. That's how long this went on. And the young lady finally felt threatened enough after hundreds of times they said, please put the gun down, put the gun down, put the gun down. She took a shot at him. He was close enough to where he could have turned the gun on her, and I think he was kind of waving it, and he was being very distraught. She shot him. Didn't kill him, as far as I know, as far as the video shows. The 5 seconds, maybe, after she shot him, she breaks down in tears. Almost made me fuck up. I'm watching this shit come home from work a little while ago, and I felt it inside of me right away, like, fuck, man. Shit could have been so easy, so quick and easy. And some people push that damn limit beyond where it needs to be. And you put now a situation where somebody might have a simple play on what being a police officer is. I'm going to, do the right thing by the community. Somebody sooner or later is going to put them into a decision that's going to be life or death. And that's fucked. That's so shitty. Have you encountered something like that? Not saying that you ever had to shoot at somebody, but been around that. Like, it could have been just so easy.
No, now, it was yeah, we were on a this is years and years ago, man. We're at a license check. And I saw a gray vehicle, silver vehicle, come down. They saw us at the license check, turn around, and they were going back the other way. So we kind of looked, I mean, that's odd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two or three, there's several things that's going to be inside that vehicle or something wrong. So I jumped into my car. I went after them. They dove down, got down into a parking lot. Passenger jumps out. The driver jumps out. The passenger runs one way, and the driver takes off the other way. So I take off after the driver, and he sticks his hand in his pocket. And I'm yelling, stop, take your hands out your pocket. Stop, stop, stop.
Mm-hmm.
So he cuts a corner of the apartment complex, a building, and he was slowly bringing his hand out. So my gun comes out, and now I'm swinging wide. And it's already out, and I've taken the slack up off that trigger.
Mm-hmm.
So I get around, and he just disappeared. So I came back to the car, called it in. Everything was good. I had the car towed. Now, the car was registered to his mom.
Mm-hmm.
A month earlier, I didn't know this part of the story. His brother had been killed by law enforcement a month earlier due to some illegal activity. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he was getting ready to run one of the officers over, and they opened fire.
Okay.
Had no clue about that story until I got up. The mom asked me what went on, and I told her. And she looked over at him, and she said, I just buried one. I almost buried another one, and that was your dumbass fault. And she slapped him.
Mm.
Right? And I was like, well, we don't need to take it to that extreme. I appreciate it. And then when I asked him what was going on, he was under suspension. His license was suspended.
All of that.
All of that over a suspended driver's license. There was nothing inside the vehicle. I didn't have a chance to see if he had anything on him. I don't know, but all over a suspended driver's license.
Just that simple. Shit could have went far, far left.
Yep.
Extremely left, right? And he broke down and told me, the same thing, same concerns as we all have, right? With our children.
Yeah.
He was like, well, my brother, this, that, and the other, whatever the case may be. I said, well, you know what? That was a month ago. I'm not that guy that did that. I'm totally different from that guy. But you didn't give me the opportunity to show you that I was different. We could have dealt with this a different way.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't know what was in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then, like you said, it sucks, man, because at that split, it's milliseconds where he brings his hand out of his pocket. It could be a cell phone.
He got shot.
It could be a water bottle. It could be keys.
Yeah.
I got a split second to look at that, to make that decision, to see what's going on, because at the same time, I got a family to go home to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Oh,
it makes sense, man. I seen a young man on a recent video. He charged the police. He had a marker. His I don't know if there was a mental illness situation or I'm not sure what it is, but you really got to understand that police officers, for the most part, want to go home too. They don't want to go to sleep knowing they just shot somebody. I can't speak for all of them, but I'm sure.
Neither can I.
Neither can I. There's definitely. So let me ask you this, and this is super important because we got 54 people that might not be aware of how to do this. Now, I know there's not a book on it, but at least you can give us your most clean and clear advice on how to get pulled over with a firearm on you, or even how to interact, even if they don't know that you do have a firearm. Possibly you don't have one. What is the initial contact, the easiest and best way to be safe during an interaction?
And again, Billy, it comes with, for me, it's through experience. I was reading Mark H's comment, and I know what incident he's speaking of, which one he's referencing. But if you're traveling with a firearm out of state, into a state, the first thing you need to do is know what the law is and what's required in that state. Yeah. Right. For me, I've dealt with people and they'll tell me, I got a concealed weapon. I got a concealed weapons permit, and they'll present that. And, my next question is, well, where is it located? Is it on your body? Is it in the vehicle somewhere, wherever the case may be, right? And if you do me a favor, don't touch yours and I won't touch mine, and we're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had that said to me a few times.
Yeah, you don't touch yours, I won't touch mine, and we're good. But at least let us know that there's a firearm, even if you got one and it's legal to carry one in your vehicle. Mm-hmm. Hey, I got a firearm in my vehicle. It's in a glove box. I got a mag in there, or I got a revolver. All the cylinders full, right? Okay, cool. It's in a glove box. I know where it is. At least you told me that's where it is. It may not be, but that's what you said. Mm-hmm. So now I know there's a weapon somewhere.
Yeah.
And I treat I used to treat every stop that I made. There is a weapon. There is a weapon available. And that weapon is my weapon. Believe it or not.
Yeah. So everybody's armed.
Yeah. Right. You may not have one, but there is a weapon available, and that's mine. Not for me per se, but if we get into it, that weapon is there. Right. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't
Now,
go.
where do you want to see their hand?
For me, here's the other part, right? That's not discussed, and I'll let them know. It's that feeling, right? Just place your hands on the steering wheel, this, that, and the other, whatever the case may be. Do you want a driver's license? No, you know what? Just give me your name and date of birth. I'll get your license that way. I get all your information that way. Just give me your name and date of birth.
Yeah.
Right. Or where are your license located? Right. But if your weapon is on your body, hey man, what's your name and date of birth? I can go back and run your name and date of birth and get your driver's license or get your driving information.
Yeah.
And we're good, right? The registration. I don't need a registration card. That's why you got a license plate. I can run the license plate and get who the registered owner is. So we, as law enforcement, a lot of times we make things more difficult than what they are.
Yeah.
The problems are easy to solve. It's just like Skilly said, communicate. Use that skill, critically think. Do I really need him or her to reach for this thing? No. Hey, so what's your name and date of birth? John Smith, whatever the case may be. I'll go back, run it. If it comes back and the description meets this description that I'm dealing with, the person I'm dealing with the person that say they are.
Yep.
Now, if it comes back to, you give me Skilly's name and date of birth, and I look at you and I'll be like, nah, this don't even match. So now I got to go up and say, hey, man, so where's your driver's license?
Right.
This ain't adding up. So I got to go about it a different way. That's all.
Yeah. So John asks, he has one of those enhanced license. When you generally, now, not every time that you run a license, run a registration on a vehicle, is it going to come back as that owner? I drive a vehicle, I'd say 90% of my driving that's registered under the ownership of the job I work. So, when you have a enhanced license that shows you're a carry permit, legal carry permit holder, they're going to assume that you're carrying.
Now, here's the thing, right? Some states have enhanced driver's license, and some states are able to run that, and some states aren't. So if you come from a state with an enhanced driver's license, my state may not be able to run your state to let me know that you're still carrying. You have a CWP. It may not come back here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
So like I said, you have to check state to state, and kind of the laws are now, the internet is awesome. Technology is awesome. You can go in and type up, look up what are the laws for CWP carry in the state of South Carolina.
Yeah.
And it spells it out.
I tell y'all this, I had experience going home. My grandmother died, and I was on the road. My wife didn't drive at the time. It was me driving. It was about a 14-hour trip to get home. I must have swerved to some in Kentucky. He stopped, and he pulled me to the side. Well, what's going on? Where you going? All them good questions. So, well, my grandmother just passed, and I'm on my way to bury my grandmother. So he asked me, did I have anything? And I said, yes, I have my weapon of choice. And he took my gun. Well,
wait, let me ask you a question before you go any further. Did he take it off of you, or did you hand it to him?
Nope, he took it off of me.
All right, yeah.
Out the car, and he got it out the car. I was at that time as a black male. I don't give an officer my gun. Period.
There you go. So for anybody who is listening, if there's a time, rather it be either the firearm is in your car or on your body, let them get it. SD, am I right?
Yeah, and again, I did things differently. Now, I'm not saying it's everybody, but I think I did things differently, right? if it was me and Skilly having this interaction, he said, "Hey, so I'm a concealed weapons carrier. I got my CWP in Michigan. My weapon is on me. This, that, and the other, whatever the case may be. All right, cool.
Mhm.
The thing is to separate you from that firearm, right? And I would ask, okay, so hey, sir, this is what we're going to do, and I'm going to explain this and put this out, right? This is what we're going to do. If you don't mind, what I'm going to have you do is take your hands, place them on top of the car. I'll retrieve the weapon myself."
Mhm.
And it's too easy, right? And if the answer is no, then okay, cool. Then just keep your hands right where they are. I don't need to see it. So, an honest person is not going to tell me they have a CWP and a weapon. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a dude that has one and don't want me to know, he ain't gonna say I got a gun.
Mm-hmm.
So honest people, like you tell me you got a CWP, cool. I don't need to. I don't need it. I don't.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good. I just need to know where it is, right? And kind of keep your hands away from that area of your body. And I am good.
Yeah.
I'm good. And that's how I dealt with it.
Mm-hmm. Skilly, you still with us? I don't want to take the rest of that story away from you. Might have to go back in the office. So let me ask you this. With most of my fear on there you go. What else, Skilly?
Somebody's ringing my phone. But once he did that, he got me out the car. He separated me from my wife and my 2 children at the time. They was in car seats.
Okay.
Grab my firearm, took me back to the car. But what I do is in my wallet for Michigan, I keep what states I can carry and what states I can't, and I laminate it, and I keep that in my wallet all the time. So the patrol officer didn't know if I was able to carry in his state or not. So what I did was I gave him that card. I said, "Here you go. This is where I can carry." And I couldn't carry in Kentucky. They went under my gun license, but because I gave that to him, he said, "Thank you, man. I appreciate your cooperation." And so he went to talk to my wife to see if we had the same story. Yeah, he's going to bury his grandmother. His grandmother just passed. So he ended up letting me off with just my son being improperly buckled in a seatbelt. I mean, in a car seat, and let me go. So that was a good one, and I ended up having to pay the ticket. And that was it. But yeah.
So a good interaction, a safe interaction from both sides. Yeah. I can respect those, 100%. So now, Skilly, your son is 12 now.
He just turned 13 in September. Yeah,
13. He's going to be doing a lot more on his own. I was just expressing that Alex is hanging out, walking to and from school and all that. And I'm a bit paranoid about that because it's a small town in the South. And I fear all the time that what happened to me as a child might come across his lane. Are there little things that you talk to your son about, or have you gotten to that point yet where you feel you need to about police interactions?
Absolutely, with him. Our police force here where I'm at in Oak Park is predominantly white or Caucasian, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
So he does go from middle school because he does band. I have him walk to the high school, which is maybe about 3 or 4 blocks from the middle school. Yeah. I have him call me once he gets into that school. You give me a call once you hit that school ground, and that's my fear. I guess I would say as a father, if I don't have, as long as you call me or text me and let me know you in the school, then I'm relaxed. I'm cool. If you don't, I think something's wrong.
True.
So we have had that interaction with him about police, and if a friend decides to do something wrong, you call the police and you walk towards the high school. You don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
To the high school, and then you give me a hit while you're on the phone with the police, and I'll meet you in the police wherever you're at. So yeah, we have definitely had to talk with him doing the right thing with friends is doing the wrong thing, and if you have an interaction with a cop, always be respectful if possible. Don't let them go out of character. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, SD, your children, as you know, in more grown scenarios, have they ever called you and said, "Dad, I got either pulled over or had some interaction that was a non-positive interaction, or
Not yet. Knock on wood. Mm-mm.
good. I do worry about it. I went through it with one of my daughters, and she one of these, and I'm like, bro, shit, you really have to keep composure. You have to keep a level head, and because we all want to get back to the house. Now, when I was a kid, um, my rougher years, I threw a finger at the police every now and again for no fucking reason. No reason. They'd be passing by enough of us that thought we were that cool hanging out. We all talk shit. For what reason, I don't know. It's just something that we grew up and saw on whatever the example of social media was at the time, and it was tasteless. It was but you just followed what the kids were doing. You followed
Right.
these trends. A lot of people are young people are raised thinking that they can be any damn way to the police. That they, there's almost like a limited respect for an officer in uniform. How much have you dealt with shit like that where somebody was irate just because you were a police officer? They weren't worried about how cool and calm and relaxed you were coming into the situation. It was fuck you from the beginning as soon as the car pulled up.
Probably 40% of the time.
Damn.
40% of the time.
That's tough.
And it is like you were motioning with your hands. I stopped a young lady, and again, like it was a hard thing as a rookie, right? But we were reminded that keep in mind you have to have tougher skin in order to deal with or to be in this profession, and not to take it personal. And then again, I came up under older veterans, right? I saw some of them operate, and I'm not saying it was all like that wasn't a little rough around the edges, but I was brought up right in this profession, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I don't think you have anything to worry about, Alex, as far as that side of it, right? I was taught to respect law enforcement, and do what's asked of me. Now, and I want the panel to know, don't get me wrong, because I've had an interaction in Mississippi while I was in the Marine Corps. I was with my cousin, and he went into the store. I was standing outside, and the police officer rolled up, and he was like, "Hey, boy, can you read?" And I'm looking around. I was like,
"Who are you talking to?"
Like, I'm looking for this kid. And he said it again, and I was like, and I was talking to me, and he was like, "Yeah, can you read?" And I was like, first and foremost, let me explain something to you. Like, I was already on one because I just got back from the Gulf War. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, yo, my pace is kind of thin at this point in time. But did I look at the rest of the department that way? And the answer was no. It was that individual.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Because I've seen some real asshole cops.
Oh, 100%.
I'm the first one to shake a police officer's hand, because it's that direct communication with that direct person that I'm mature enough to know that every situation is going to be different.
But I said, and I said this earlier, I think we had this conversation months and months ago on RGG's thing. I used to tell my students this all the time. And again, this is just through experience and how I was raised, right? You're a servant of the people.
Yes.
That's what you are.
Yep.
Right? Regardless of who we have in an executive command staff and a chain of command. we work under them, but we work for these people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, you know, I'm going at now, don't get me wrong. If I'm going to give you some time to kind of come back to earth on your thing, right?
Oh.
And I'm going to tell you that. Hey, you know, I'm going to step away from this for a minute. I need you to go ahead and kind of get your thoughts back together when I come back up. And if you're still doing that, then I'm going to meet you where you are.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. Because that's the only thing that's the only way you go. You're
there.
going to yeah. You're gonna listen at that point in time. That's the only way that's what's gonna drive it home, and that's where I got to meet. That's when I'm gonna meet you.
Mm-hmm.
So if I come back and you still on 10, okay, cool. I'm gonna bump it up to 12.
Yeah.
Right? Because at this point in time, and I know the panel is gonna feel some type of way about this. This is my style.
Mm-hmm.
I'm controlling this right now. Right? Right at this point in time, I got a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do my job, and you'll be on your way.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Too easy. Too easy. But we make it harder than what it is, right? For the most part.
Do you? My interaction with the cops has been good, and I have 2 instances where I either made a mistake or I was just irritated at one point. One I was just irritated and being an asshole. I'm not gonna lie, because he's at 1:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, going home from work. Bright ass light in the back of my window where I can't see, so I was kind of pissed. I'm not gonna lie. So I had a poster in my passenger seat, and I totally forgot about my gun. I ain't gonna lie. He pissed me off so bad with that goddamn light. Fuck you ain't worried about a gun right now. You just pissed me off. But he ended up my holster in my passenger seat and asked me, did I have my gun? And I said, yeah. He said, well, if I ain't see your what's name, what you gonna tell me you had a gun? And I had to kind of calm down a little bit and be like, okay, Jamal, you calm down a little bit. So
you the fuck out before.
I was just, that light kind of threw me off, and I totally forgot about my gun. But he let me off with a warning. And then the other one was when I first got pulled over, me and my boy was coming from somewhere. He ended up bending the corner a little bit too hard. Mm-hmm. We was on my block on the other side. I was 2 houses down off the block. I end up, after they stopped us, I end up getting out the car about to go home. I being retarded. He pulls his gun out on me and tells me to stop. I'm like, oh shit, I ain't got a gun put out.
Damn.
But they're only the 2 times that I had bad experience with cops. But other than that, man, I had real good experience with cops since I had a CPL.
So let me ask you this. I know a lot of people talk about like the blue wall of silence, right? Have you ever been in like a scenario where you had to make that decision?
Have I?
Yeah.
No.
See, there it goes now. That's the silence. I got it. Get it.
No, and you say that right? No, I get it, man. So again, I'm not saying I'm a rare person, because there are many law enforcement officers that are like this. Mm-hmm. And man, if I see you doing something wrong or mistreating somebody, it's my job to intervene.
True that.
Because if I don't, and here's the thing, right? Everything is recorded now. The officer's wearing a body-worn camera. It's in the car. It's in everybody's car. It's on everybody's uniform. So if I don't intervene and do something, I'm caught up just like that other cat. You know what I mean? And even before body cameras, right? Somebody still has to step in and be the reasonable one. Mm-hmm. Somebody has to. Now, don't get me wrong. Have I been on foot chases and like we just hauling ass, right? So we get this dude and it's like on the ground, you know, trying to get handcuffs on, whatever. I've been in that situation, right? Mm-hmm. But after it's over with, it's over with.
Yeah.
That's it. Person is in handcuffs, and if I've seen it, I've been there. Well, blah, 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 blah. Hey, I got him, and I'm taking him to my car. calm your ass down. I got it.
Mm-hmm. Now, being in South Carolina, I know that there's a big racial or cultural divide. Have you dealt with, from both sides, racism as a police officer?
Now, not in the cases that I've worked,
Mhm.
in the counties that I've worked in the crews that I've worked on. I've worked in a county where I was the only black trooper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did I catch any flack or any static, or was I treated in a certain kind of way or anything like that from my colleagues at work? Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. You know what? In fact, if I needed assistance, blue lights were coming. Like they were hauling ass trying to get to me,
Yeah.
right? On the flip side of that, right? I had this shit. I can go on stories and stories. I had this older white lady. She turned in front of me. No, she kept straight, and I was turning. No, she turned in front of me, so it was a failure right away.
Mm-hmm.
Older white lady. So I followed her all the way to her house. Blue lights and siren going. This chick didn't stop. She put up in her driveway. I got out. She got out. I got a driver's license. I asked for her insurance information. She gave me the wrong insurance card, out-of-date insurance card. So I was like, cool. So I went ahead and wrote that ticket too. And the panel can say what they want to say, but I wrote that ticket too just because, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the day after that stop, she called and complained on me.
Mm-hmm.
And her complaint was, I stopped her because she was white. I was like, yo, this is the first time I've heard some shit like this.
That's some reverse shit right there.
Right, 100%. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I had a old dude, stop, pulled him up for a seatbelt, walked up to the car, and this mug was N-word this, N-word that, N-word this. Cool. No worries. Hey, sir, let me get a driver's license. Let me get that. So I can go ahead and write this ticket. And he was like, I ain't, you think I'm gonna wear it after this? Okay, cool. You can get stopped some more. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I may be the dude to do it again.
Now, have you experienced racism from other black folks?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I know that's got to be like the deepest cut.
100%.
I've been there before. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like, how can you do this? How can you do that? This, that, and the other. And my question would be like, so why did you even put me in a position that I'm in right now to deal with you?
Yeah. What could you have done different?
Right. What could you have done different? I stopped the family, and the little boy wasn't in the child seat, right? Black family. We get him stopped, get him in the parking lot. I'm talking to the guy. Everything was good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he had the van door open. It was him, his wife, and his son was in the back seat, but he wasn't in the car seat. So I'm talking to him. I'm trying to talk to the little boy. He's probably about 2 or 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And this little guy was like, my daddy told me not to talk to police.
Mm.
I was like, huh?
Right.
He was like, yeah, the police is bad. And I was like, oh. His dad turned all types of shades of red. And I kind of looked at him, and he was like, I don't know where he got it from. I said, well, I do.
Straight up and down. So you know what? That it's funny you say that, because that leads me to another honest situation where, especially in black neighborhoods or black families, black upraising, the snitch aspect is very, very frowned upon.
Yes.
Which I'm sure, you know, people struggle with that thought. You know, at no point does anybody want to be a snitch. Do you understand that side of the culture, and how frustrating does it get when it does prevent your job from being done, you know, efficiently, safely, etc.?
It all depends, and this is just me, and Skilly can attest to it. And so can you, Billy, because you lived up north and in the South.
Mm-hmm.
one neighborhood I had a very good rapport, right? And they knew me like, hey, if Trooper Jordan did this or if Trooper Jordan said that, he's a man of his word.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the guys I was working on shift got into a chase, kind of a little chase. The young man runs to the house. So I meet up with him and I was like, what you got, man? And he told me. I was like, all right. I said, hey, you hold back. I go up to the house, knock on the door, girlfriend comes to the door. I said, such and such in here. And she was like, nope. I said, okay, cool. I said, my man back there, he's just under suspension. He's going to write him a ticket. All he's got to do is just come back to court. He's not going to take him to jail. And she kind of looked at him. She was like, well, he ain't here. I said, okay, cool. Check this out. I said, he can go get the warrant. I can sit on the house, wait, and we can come in the house. And if we come in the house and he's in here, now you're a party to that crime.
Yeah.
However you want it to play out, that's how it's going to play out. I said, so how about I just go ahead and give you 5 minutes for y'all to decide and talk this thing over.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll wait on the porch. So she closed the door. I went back down. I talked to him, man. I was like, this is how it's going to go down, man. I said, for you to get some credibility in this neighborhood, right? Because I told her, all you're going to do is write the ticket. He just comes back to court. We know where he worked. You can find out where he works. You know where he lives. If he doesn't come back to court, pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but this is how it's going to go down, right? I said, because word is going to spread with my name and your name on it.
Yeah.
4 minutes, 30 seconds, dude comes out. And the elders in the neighborhood, that's how I got, I guess, to be known within the neighborhood is because of the older folks.
Yeah.
Jordan is this, Jordan is that, yada, 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 yada. You straight with him, he's a straight shooter with you.
Mm-hmm.
And everything's good.
Now,
right?
when you do create relationships with the neighborhood around, how difficult is it for you to either ticket or arrest somebody that you might have seen, grow up, or you might have known him from high school as this great kid, but he just did something, fucked up, or halfway just like ran a stop sign or something? Was there like leniency on any of that, or is just like?
Well, here's the thing, and I'm not from here. I'm from Detroit, but I'm here. I live here now. The biggest thing, and what I tell everybody or any trainee that comes through, you have to be fair and consistent.
Yeah,
that's it. It's being consistent. So regardless of who that person is, where they are demographically or where they are economically, you better treat that person. If they're economically up here, and you're in a lower class neighborhood or middle class neighborhood, if you arrest that dude that's in the lower class, middle class, you better take that fucker in the damn upper class jail too.
Yep.
That's right.
Everybody gets a fair shake. Period. Well, what if I get complained on? Are you doing your job?
That's it.
Are you being fair? And that's all a community wants. That's all the people want. Is fair across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's like a utopia type thing that I'm speaking of, but that's the way I did my job.
Yeah.
I didn't care if your mama was a nurse or your mama was a doctor and your daddy was a lawyer. I didn't care. That ass is going to jail if it was a jailable offense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Period. Right? Like said, let the court sort it out.
That's different. If it's something small like running a stop sign, as long as you ain't got nothing suspended. Now, if you got to suspend the license, you doing it. Well, if it's cause for you to go to jail, then that's not up to me at that point.
Yeah, no. If licenses are suspended, no insurance on the vehicle. I mean, my main things were suspended. No insurance on the vehicle. DUI, of course.
Yeah.
Simple possession of marijuana, something that was jailable, that it was mandatory that I arrest you for.
Mm-hmm.
You were going.
You're going.
Period. Well, you don't understand. No. I understand. You don't understand. This is where we're going.
Hey, John asked a tough question. I'm not even going to ask it. I might as well ask you. But family, have you ever had run-ins with family, or people that were close enough to you, like family, to where you had to make a decision?
Not me per se, but I got a phone call again, like one of my wife's family, from the trooper, and he was like, "Hey, I got such, this, and the other, whatever the case be. His license suspended." I said, "Hey man, do your job. do what you got to do, brother."
Hey, that.
There it is.
Do what you got to do. Me, I'm the same way. Again, I hate to put it that way, but during my interview, one of the troopers that was interviewing me, they were like, "So you stop your mom? If you stop your mother, would you write her a ticket?" Yep.
Oh, unfortunately.
That's right.
What about your wife? Yep. That's just the way it is, man.
Yeah.
We got rules. Follow the fucking rules.
Yeah. And you know, sometimes I wonder about certain laws that I got pulled over in a work vehicle probably about a month ago, and I left with 1 ticket and like 6 warnings. And now they have nothing to do with me being stopped. This is what do you call them? Public safety or whatever, and they just do vehicle checks on commercial vehicles and make sure your brakes and your tires and all that shit are good. So I felt like the amount of warnings that he gave were super fucking petty. You know, it wasn't toward me. It had nothing to do with me, but I was driving the vehicle that had the trailer attached to it, and he had to give somebody a ticket. So I kind of had a little anger streak, like what the fuck. But the reality is they gotta continuously do their job to create revenue so they can get a paycheck at the end of the week, just like anybody else.
Well, and I got friends that work on the commercial side, like you said, right? So they gave you warnings and like you said, for petty stuff, maybe for brakes or whatever the case be, maybe tires or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. It wasn't directed toward you, but it was directed toward that company. So once you turn those into the company, then it's like, hey man, like you put me out in this vehicle and it wasn't even really sound for me to be driving this. There you go. I'm just letting you know, hey, the man pulled me over, the commercial man pulled me over, and this is what we got. It could have been worse, because if you would have wrote those tickets, it wouldn't have been against you. It would have been against the company, not you. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a courtesy thing. Hey, company, get your shit together.
Right. It won't be nice next time.
Yeah, right.
Mikhail said, what's that mystery about the 5 mile? So I used to hear it was 9 you find, 10 you mind. Is that fucking something that they really go by, or is that bullshit?
So yeah, that's kind of again, you got to check where you live. Like South Carolina has an absolute speed law, which means 1 or 2 over, you can be stopped for it, right? Again, as a rookie, like brand new, I was like, yo, these mugs gave me a car and some lights. It was like 8 you find, 9 you mind. We got to get it. We got to get it.
I hear that.
But you have to look at. I'm not generally, when I was working the road, I'm not going to interrupt that flow of traffic. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if it's like everybody, if it's a 70 and everybody's 75, 76, 77, that's that flow of traffic. I'm not stopping somebody for. I'm not losing my life over 7 miles over the speed limit.
Right.
You know what I mean? You come in at 85. Oh yeah, we go ahead and talk about that one.
Yeah.
85 and a 70. And again, who makes those rules? Your engineers for your city. They decide what the speed limits are and what they're capable of on those roadways.
It's on them.
Yeah, it's on them.
Because sometimes I'll be driving around like, well, how the fuck is this 45 over here? Like there's nothing but cows and fucking fields. Who made this shit 45? But shit, as soon as I get my truck to a certain you know, I'll start throwing. We get these red flag emails and shit that let you know that you're doing more than 10 miles over the speed limit, and I don't want to deal with that shit. Those conversations. So, but yeah, man, them little things that we always, I don't know, it's like urban myths and shit like that. You know, we think we're cool within, but they could get you for, you know, like you said, a mile over. You know,
I
I got
mean, yeah, you look at it, and again, um, not trying to be petty, but speed limit means speed limit.
the limit.
That's it,
I
right?
got hit
So,
for 3 miles over in Virginia on
oh,
95,
yeah,
95.
yeah.
Yep.
Let
Fucking
me
Get stopped
come
in
on.
Ohio.
Ohio, I about to say Ohio is one. Boy, I make sure when we going through Ohio, you better hit that speed limit. Don't mess around Ohio. Anybody come from Detroit to Ohio,
they getting
they
you.
do not like Detroit. So you better do the speed limit and the speed limit only.
Hey, bro, leaving here to go to Detroit to go home, I'm good. North Carolina, West Virginia, Virginia, I'm good. As soon as I cross in Ohio, I set the damn cruise control. If the speed limit is 70, my shit is set at 68. I
Yeah.
ain't even taking that chance.
Just in case you hear the hell. Fuck that.
I ain't taking that chance.
Now, how about now your interactions with police officers as a civil, you know, out of uniform? Have you had situations to where, you know, you let them know you're an officer and, you know, right away it's like, all right, well, go ahead, be safe, have a good day? Or have you had to actually, like, you know, plead your case type thing or get the ticket?
No, and again, when I was active, I got stopped in Ohio, Cincinnati, of all places.
Mm-hmm.
And dude was running radar. He pulled me over, and I let him know. One thing I didn't do, and one thing I can't stand is be lectured, and I didn't lecture anybody on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a moment because it was like I stopped for speed and this, that, and the other, whatever the case would be. And I was like, clearly not, because I know where cruise at. Anyways, I said, hey, man, if you go write the ticket, write the ticket. That's it. I'm good with it, right? If you got me, I got caught in Georgia, I got caught speeding in Georgia, coming back from y'all shit, right?
Damn.
And I let the deputy know, hey, I'm a CWP holder. I got my weapon on me, this, that, and the other, whatever the case would be. He asked for my credentials, or he asked for my license, and all my stuff is in there with my credentials. So I pulled them out, and he was like, what is that? I was like, nothing. And he's like, you law enforcement? I said, I'm retired, man. And he was like, okay. He said, I'll be right back with you. Hey, you go write it. You go write it. I'm guilty. You got me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm just like everybody else. Out of state, I'm good with it. I got caught.
Yeah.
I'm not going to plead my case and be like, hey, can you cut me a break? No, man, you got to do your job.
I hear that. Well, shit, there's not many like that. Believe me. Because, hey, I'm pulling names out left and right, PAL cards and all kinds of PPA shit. Hey, man, my cousin, you know, the Smith family? Fuck that. I was so done with my license in my younger years. By the time I was like 20, my shit got canceled. So there's suspended, there's revoked, and then there's canceled. Canceled is the shit bottom of the water for having a you don't even got it. It is fucked.
Yeah, you got to work hard to get them back.
Yo, it took a minute, and now I drive for a living. You know, so I don't know how the hell I pulled it off, but it was a rough. The '90s was a rough time. But yeah, man, that shit is it's interesting, and I'm glad. I'm super glad that we have an amazing relationship, and I'm glad that I could talk to an officer or a retired officer that has a lot of years of insight and a lot of good thoughts and words and advice for the people in our community. Because, like I said, man, I worry about even us as adults making the right decisions that could save our lives at a time, you know, within this two-way world that we are a part of. And I think mainly, folks, keep your fucking calm, be honest, be straightforward, and know the laws and the rules of these areas that you're traveling through. I think that's a big help.
I think the one thing that I would say, and I'm not trying to take over your live or anything like that, but don't argue on the side of the road.
Please don't.
And it's not to say that you'll piss me off or you'll piss somebody off or a whole bunch of emotions. I'm not holding court and trial on the side of the road. That's not my job. That's not our job. Our job is to simply charge. You got a court date. That probably was me, Joseph, as you saw. Yeah, and that's what I used to tell folks all the time. Hey, sir, I wasn't speeding. Let me see your radar. Prove it was me. How do you know this and that? Well, I've been properly trained to XYZ, whatever the case may be, right? We'll deal with it in court, but I'm not going to try this case on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Right. You have an opportunity to come back and speak to the magistrate, the judge, and plead your case. It's up to the state to prove that it was what I did was what I did, and you were the violator at that point in time. It's on the state to prove that your guilt, not your innocence, but it's up to you to say, hey, it wasn't me, XYZ, whatever the case would be. And we go about it that way. But not holding court on the side of the road.
That's right. That's right. I can't argue with that. Folks, listen, I got to say this. I got to thank y'all, both of y'all, for hanging out with me 100%, making this a real quality. I know a lot of times we can be as funny and have a good time on here, but sometimes it's a learning experience. A lot of times it's a learning experience. Either way, if y'all notice, my co-host for the night disappeared on me. And I think I need to go check on her because she had some of that Rodney Brady's Haitian rum.
Oh, wow.
And I ain't seen her since. Make sure she didn't hit her head on something. But otherwise, man, I appreciate everybody. Pardon if I didn't say what's up to anybody that came in toward the later time, but I'm glad y'all did come in, and hopefully y'all leave with some amazing information, and I appreciate y'all for being here. We shall see. Rodney, I'm not bullshitting. It was like about the same full, and I think she had one sip. That shit stinks, man. I can't drink, man. I hate alcohol. This shit is stink. Stank. Either way, y'all enjoy the night. Be safe, and we'll see y'all soon. Tomorrow night, don't forget to check out the Press Check podcast. If you are not, Zach, if you're still in here, can you please drop the Press Check podcast channel? If you are not subscribed and notified when that channel goes live, go ahead, click on that link and tune in, because tomorrow night it's going to be an interesting conversation. Some great topics. Damn, Philly. So, damn, SD Marine. Look, everybody got tickets on that funky ass trip. I feel sorry. I fucked up. I had fun while you was there.
Georgia ain't no joke.
I'm noticing. But like I said, man, y'all enjoy the night. Be safe and get over the Press Check podcast tomorrow night. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace, y'all.
All right, y'all.
All right.
It's trying to end. I don't know what's wrong with my internet. It's trying to end. I don't know what the hell.